here again with Duke and K-Rock's Page of Horrors. It's been a little while since I've put out anything, but like I've said before, sometimes life just gets in the way. In the last couple of weeks, we've seen Candyman, Malignant. We went to Halloween Horror Nights and we saw Shang-Chi, which is not a horror movie, but I will say that Shang-Chi was a very good movie. I'm just going to briefly touch on the movies that we did see and a little bit on the Halloween Horror Nights. The first thing we saw was Candyman. Now, I'm a big fan of the original that had Tony Todd and Virginia Madsen in it. They came out during the time where it was the teenage slasher movie, and this is not that. It was something else, you know, the urban legend, blah, blah, blah. So when they said that we're going to be making a remake, a reboot, whatever they wanted to call it, I think I would, after seeing it, I would call it like a soft reboot, for whatever that means. They do reference the first movie's characters and just the first movies. So in a way, they're acknowledging the first movie. They're kind of reshaping it. So me and the wife actually went to the movies. We saw it in the theater, which is the first time we've been in a theater in like a year and a half. Saw it in the theater. And I gotta say, I liked it. I like what they did. They took the story, they acknowledged the first one, they reshaped it. Basically, how can I do this without giving anything away? They kind of added to the Candyman myth in the story by basically saying there are multiple, like there wasn't not just one Candyman during generations, over generations and, you know, years. Like each generation has its own Candyman. And I like that. I like that concept. They didn't mess with the first movie. They kind of did their own thing on this one. So I think they did a good job with it. I think I would like to see it as like a one and done, like let's just do this one and leave it alone, which we all know they're not going to do. Anyway, I think if I were to give it some kind of rating, I think I'd give it a solid B. The next movie we saw was Malignant. Now that came out in the theaters and they also released it on HBO Max, which I have, so we watched it there. That movie, I really think that movie was mismarketed. It was by James Wan. He did The Conjuring. He did Saw. And I remember the commercials. When the commercials came out, they were kind of presenting it as one of those type of movies, and it's really not. When we watched it, it was obvious from the first scenes that this movie really didn't take itself seriously. As a matter of fact, I think there was an interview somewhere, I don't know where, but James Wan was saying that when he made this movie, he was trying to make a movie that kind of harkened back to the 1980s, 1990s, when video stores were around and they'd have some crappy horror movies in the back of the video store. That's what he was going for. And I think he did it with this particular movie. Again, if you see this, and I liked it, I suggest you do, don't go with the intention like you're going to see like one of those Conjuring type movies, because it's really not that. Let me put it this way. There's a section, you can go through the first part of the movie and it's setting things up and you're really questioning, well, okay, why are they doing this and why? When they finally answer those questions, you know, like almost 2/3 of the way through the movie, and they let you in on it, I actually said out loud, seriously? But I give that one, I'd give that one like a B plus, because once I got it, once I was in on it, I liked it. So there's that one. And we went to Halloween Horror Nights. It was raining most of the time, drizzling, but we went anyway. It was a spur of the moment thing, because we haven't been in the last couple of years. But that was, you know, that's when we know Halloween is coming. It's upon us. It's getting near. So I had to do something to celebrate that. So we went to Halloween Horror Nights. It's early in the year. It's not, you know, as of now, we're at the end of September. And the crowds weren't, you know, it wasn't packed, it wasn't crowded. So that's kind of why I wanted to go early and get it out of the way. So we're actually, the scare zones that they had were pretty decent. We did manage to get into 3 of the mazes. So we went to Beetlejuice first, then we went to, we got in line for something called Bride of Frankenstein Lives. I think when they're planning out these houses during horror nights, I just get the feeling that the ones that they base on movies are like the ones that the guys, the creative people, the people putting it together, I think they like their own original stuff better. Because you can kind of tell that there's a little more, I mean, there's a little more atmosphere, there's a little more edge to the houses that are originals. The ones that are based on movies, they can follow the scenes of the movies, and you know, you go through each room and it's a scene from the movie. And yeah, it's cool to see that stuff in front of you. The American Werewolf in London, because I love that movie. I went through that one. That was badass. The only complaint I have is you kind of rush through it and you don't get a chance to stand there and take in the stuff that you're seeing because you got to go through so fast. But that's just my opinion. Like Beetlejuice was a decent house, but you're going through scenes from Beetlejuice, and if you've seen the movie a million times, then you know what's coming. But the originals, when they do those get you because you have no idea what's coming out. I don't know, The Bride of Frankenstein Lives was kind of loosely based on that movie, and then it kind of goes this way. And when it goes that way, they go that way. It's, you know, it gets intense after that. And then The Case Files on Earth, that one was really good. That one kind of had like this old style film noir, see? You know, when guys talk like this, see? It was kind of like had one of those vibes. And then you mix in some sci-fi and some horror. That one was really good. But out of the three that we went to, my two favorites were originals. Go figure. And we do have the Halloween season coming up, so we're going to be trying to be putting out some more stuff, some more video, more regular. I know Duke is actually working on a video. He's making something at home. He's going to make a video for it, so we'll be posting that. And might be going to Petrified Forest. Don't know. Anyway, Halloween is upon us. October is coming. It's not quite here yet, and if it already is here when you're watching this, then, you know, let's get it going. So from us to you, from Duke and K-Rock's Page of Horrors, it is that time of the season, so let's do this. See ya.
Please don't forget to like and subscribe. We appreciate your support.